What's going on, world? Coming at you guys again. We got another quick video. Iran and the ceasefire. Let's talk about it. So allegedly, there's supposed to be a planned action of a ceasefire for 2 weeks for Iran. This, I believe, in my personal opinion, is a huge mistake. Because during these 2 weeks, Iran is going to have the capability to make more money and gives more time for them to create more drones, more missiles, more anti-military defense measures and techniques. We are already engaged in military action with Iran. There is no point in stopping. There is no point in hesitating. There is no point in postponing. It's time to put boots on the ground. The reality of the situation is, if we're going to secure the Strait of Hormuz, we need to line up soldiers in checkpoints along the Iranian border in the Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz to make sure that we have the capacity to facilitate travel. Along these checkpoints, along the border, they need to have some form of air defense capacity that extends from the shore inward. We need to have surveillance drones and satellite with heat sensing capacities and capabilities so that if a drone or a missile is launched, we'll see the coordinates, the grid coordinates from the location in which it left. And that will be our target for the missiles or mortars in which we have at the checkpoints, as well as the missiles that we have on the ships in the Gulf. We have to push inward into Iran. We did it already in Iraq. We did it already in Afghanistan. We should have a comprehensive plan in which we can utilize to adjust fire and to move forward. It is time to call on Elon Musk for his satellite capacity so that we can have faster communication from drone releases from Iran as well as missile launches from Iran, so we can get the specific coordinates as to where they are launching from to prevent them from launching again. And we also need the basic measures to where we need to develop a contract with what I believe what we use are RC automotive vehicles that can be strapped with a GoPro, Bluetooth satellite, as well as possibly C4. So we don't have to compromise the safety of soldiers. We can utilize these technologies to traverse through the grounds of Iran. And when we come into these chambers that are housing drones for launch or missiles for launch, we can utilize these RC vehicles to go inside of these locations, and through a Bluetooth satellite link and a remote detonator, we'll have the capacity to neutralize and destabilize these launching areas and these launching sites. The reality of the situation is, it's very likely that these areas or these chambers are possibly connected like an ant colony. The time for conquest and conquering is a historical application and recognition for America. It's time to reestablish the understanding that in some cases and situations, as it is now, the action of conquest is necessary. We've already seen it with Russia going into Ukraine and Russia going into Crimea. We've already seen it with China threatening Taiwan. The action in which America would pursue in Iran to transition Iran into a territory like Puerto Rico, like Guam, like American Samoa, I believe is probably the next step forward. America has a large population of Muslim people that live perfectly fine. They are healthy, happy, and economically sound. There is no reason why America cannot go into Iran and do a complete regime change and bring Iran into and under the wing of America with the premise that it will become a territory, just like Puerto Rico, just like American Samoa, just like Guam. And then the Iranian people, under American leadership, will have the capacity to fulfill their manifest destiny with the understanding that America is there to support or destroy any threat towards America or any threat towards other individuals or countries within the area, to include Israel, right? It's time to take the gloves off, because as it stands right now, Iran is a member of BRICS: Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, and South Africa. These individuals are a direct threat to America, because America, our primary source of economical value is not gold. It is the petrodollar. That is what transportation is about. That's why the Strait of Hormuz is having such a large conversation piece right now. So moving forward, I would implement these measures, and I would be, interested to see if we have the capacity to track the drones that Iran is using in a offensive measure or defensive measure with heat sources or heat signals. Because if that's the case, and the missiles are also within the same spectrum, then we need a way to target these missiles using lasers, and we can blow them up midstream, midair, before they hit anything. We'll have to deal with the falling debris. Same as the drones. But we'll be able to identify the geographical location in which they are launched and disable and neutralize them without the possibility of causing a threat or to compromise the safety of our American soldiers. They can establish themselves initially within the checkpoints along the Iranian border, and once that's established, then we can continue to secure it utilizing methods and measures of what we have now through remote controlled video cameras, etc., etc. Right? This is the war in which technology needs to be implemented and applied. We don't have to necessarily exhaust American soldiers or our capacity to have American soldiers in the field. Now, I want all of my Americans to understand this measure, right? It is imperative that America successfully complete this military action and occupation of Iran. It is absolutely imperative. And we must continue moving forward, because this action was a necessary action. And the unfortunate reality is America is $39 trillion in debt, which means we have no choice but to continue to move forward. We do not have the luxury of maintaining the presence of mind for pacifism. Those days are gone. It is over. Through the abuse of waste, fraud, through illegal and possibly some legal citizens and migrants, of funneling millions, if not billions, to trillions of dollars outside of America, or to American citizens who have put that money in offshore accounts outside of America. Inflation is at an all-time high, and it was at an all-time high during COVID, even when the ports were shutting down and nobody could figure out why. This is why. The Democrats are directly responsible. This is the truth of the matter. I was saying this way back when. Okay? So these are the necessary steps that need to take place. Outside of that, every American citizen needs to go sign up for the military today. Because the way we are moving forward, right? America has to be sustained. Our security is number one, is a number one priority. If we don't have the capacity to secure America, we are going to open ourselves up into a world you won't understand, you won't recognize, and you will not appreciate. When you go outside of America and you go look at all the countries around the world, 95% of the countries around the world are 95% one race. They are not inclusive. So you can think and believe in a fantasy world that if you were to just leave everybody alone and everybody were to leave you alone, everything would be hunky and dory and peaceful. That is not the case. It is not the case at all by any means. Remember, America is $39 trillion in debt. Not a single country is going to send America a postcard or a phone call and say, we forgive your debt. Everybody wants to get paid, and they're going to get paid through the measure of your labor by being an American citizen according to the U.S. debt clock, or unfortunately, you're going to have to fight to make sure that you stay on top like America is. These are your options. Either you fight or you submit. In America, well, the last time I checked, this is home of the brave.